meeting. We're going to start our final session. We'll have some panelists and give everyone an opportunity to ask any questions that are lingering. But before we do that, we want to do two things. One, how many people have read the amazing book? What's it called?
Making Neighborhoods Whole.
Making Neighborhoods Whole. I have not read it. Alright, wave those hands high. Alright, so I just see a few hands, which is good because we are going to give away several copies right now. Oh. So, if everyone will slowly look underneath their chair for a colorful dot. While you're picking that chair up, if you'll go ahead and set it on the table. All right. So, you find the dot waiting for Miss Adeline, and she will bring you your copy.
How many adults we got?
Six. All right. All right. The second thing that we wanted to say before we get into the panel is we hope that you have not heard today to stop doing the ministries you're currently doing. All right? There's some great, well-organized relief ministries out there. A lot of good food pantries, a lot of good clothing closets, a lot of good things going on. I hope what you'll receive today is this invitation to apply some of these guidelines and principles on the stuff you're already doing to enhance the ministries that you're working on and doing and move to a point where your ministry is empowering and developing leaders from within the community. Is that what you wanted me to say?
I do.
So please do not hear stop giving away food, stop having closed closets. Start thinking, how can I apply leadership development to my food pantry? How can I apply the principles of relocation to what I'm already doing? All right? All right, good. Now, to help with that process, we want to introduce you to a few more people who have applied some of these principles into their work. And we'll quickly introduce them. They'll tell you about their ministry, and then we'll give you an opportunity to ask questions. So I don't see any panelists up here. So why don't we just do it one at a time? Then, Claudia, would you like to be first? Would you like to be first? I have no idea what's happening. All right. Coming. Yes, please. All come forward. TK, you're up here too.
Very shy.
All right, what we're going to do now is I'm going to ask Claudia or Marion to start, because DK doesn't know what's happening right now. But Claudia is going to introduce herself and let you in on how she has applied some of these principles in her ministry context. This is, well, she can.
This is a panel. You don't stand on a panel. All right. Can y'all see me?
Yes.
Oh, my husband said you guys can't see me in all of my glory. All right. But for those who are not in Sally and my breakout session, I am Claudia Lewis. I am the associate pastor of the House of Restoration United Methodist Church Mission. We have a location in the West End community and also a Midfield campus in Midfield, Alabama. So today I'm on the panel representing Dream Garden Incorporated, which is a 501c3 nonprofit of Restoration Mission, which the House of Restoration is kind of the worshiping body. We are one of the 3 mission churches of the North Alabama Conference. We have Restoration Mission. There is also a Community Church Without Walls and Church of the Reconciler. Woo woo! We are the 3 mission babies. Service is what we do. Ministry with the poor is what we do. It's our life. It's just how we get down. Okay, and so the ministry that we have Dream Garden Incorporated, and I'm going to introduce that by showing a short 1-minute clip video. We also, we're known most for our drug recovery program, which we have retired now, but we've had several thousand men come through our program, our drug recovery program that was a residential program at one point and all of that. And we also have Operation Jericho, which is our unconventional evangelism campaign. And we are looking to birth in January 2024 Champion's Heart, which will be a residential facility for young adults and teens transitioning out of the foster care program. So today we are talking Dream Garden, and this is Dream Garden. Hit it! I'm just playing. Who me? Oh, I have to run it.
I don't know if it's on.
Is it on?
It's on the speaker. The speaker now. It's great. I don't know. No, it's not on. Oh, it just says speaker off. Okay, we good?
Okay.
Now you start over. I messed some up. So while we wait on that, I do want to talk about how we utilize relationships at Dream Garden. Am I getting ahead of the game? Okay. So through mentorship within Dream Garden, it allows us to have relationships outside of the TK want me to eat the money. Alright, so through mentorship within Dream Garden, it allows us to have relationships outside of the church, and it also allows us to build relationships outside of the 4 walls of the church, because most of our campers are not members of the House of Restoration. Okay, they're children from the community, and things like that. And I know we talked about the holistic approach in our breakout session, and so one of the things that we have not stressed so much, which is an example of this, we have never been intentional about trying to recruit the kids into our worshiping body. Okay, now that's something that long term we, want to happen or ideally would happen, but a lot of these children are members of other churches and things like that, but Dream Garden provides something that, their church may not have, summer camp and stuff for the kids, and all of that. I'm gonna stick with that question this time. Y'all ready? All right. I think you ready. Hey, this is here's the highlights.
You are doing, we're keeping our fingers crossed.
It's on.
It's in.
Good afternoon. I don't have any videos to show you today. She didn't notice. But
The video was your idea?
it was my idea. It really was my idea. But my name is Mary Royston, and I serve as pastor of St. Paul United Methodist Church in Huntsville, and I'm also the associate pastor of Center Grove United Methodist Church. But I am actually here to talk about the Quad W missional internship, which I serve as the site director for the Huntsville site, but I've also served as an intern before, an assistant site director, and a mentor. This program is something that brings college students into the North Alabama Conference to spend some intentional time in a community, and also to spend intentional time in community with one another. It is a church-based ministry, so as far as the CCDA principles goes, it goes into that church-based and several others, I believe, because there's also some relocation involved. And over the course of the summer, these young people spend time with various ministries in the community where they are housed. During that time, they're also fed by members of various churches. They are worshiping in the community. They are completely embedding themselves in the community, and they are learning. And in many of the cases, they're actually giving churches an opportunity to be in ministry with their communities in a way that's different than they have been able to do before. Because I think that we're all very familiar with the fact that there are many churches around here that have a population that does not look like the population of the community where the building of the church is. And so this program sometimes allows these churches to bridge into the community. There's lots of kids.
My name is Tirak Farmai. People call me TK. I was asked to talk about a relationship building with the community. When I was sent to Anniston in 2012, the church is in a community that is known by everybody. You know, every time you call West something, you know it's West something. So it was called West Anniston. The church was seated the whole blocks, a block on one side. It was a drug dealing house. On the other side, we were surrounded by them in that community. And when we were sent there, most people said, don't make sure you are out there before the sun goes down. Because guns ring all the time and it's a dangerous place. But what we found out when we got there is a dangerous place where there are people and they feel like you see them like people, it ceases to be a dangerous place. The people who are called dangerous ended up being our security.
Come on now.
They ended up being our security. Buses were never broken into. And after effect, one day I was almost in trouble because I drove to the church after we had dropped the kids. I drove to the church. I'd forgotten something in the car. I drove back to the vans in a rental car. And before I knew it, I was surrounded by 12 guys. And when I opened the door, oh, it's the preacher, it's you, preacher. We didn't know your car. And we were wondering who is trying to mess with our buses. It becomes their buses. And the other question I've been asked is how challenging it is to form a relationship. It is very challenging to form a relationship with people whom society has labeled as dangerous and bad people. It's difficult to form relationships with people who are considered bad by society, as if just talking to them, you become them. and in that area, the police were always driving around. And I thank God I got out of there after 6 years. I was never in jail because sometimes they will just surround you and you go. But the relationships we formed helped so much in terms of helping even children. I had relationships with the drug dealers. I had relationships with the gang leaders. And they helped me. I didn't know, down the line it helped me so much because some of the gang members became church members. And they were able to spot the children we were working with, who were coming from troubled families. They were able to spot this one is going the wrong way. Pastor, we need to help them. How can we help them? And then they will teach me how to help them. I'll tell you one final story. I met this guy one day and I just talked to him and he had his guns and he said, I'm gonna kill somebody. I said, why? God loves everybody. You can't kill somebody because they've done something wrong to you. They said, preacher, I'm not a church person. Just talk. And for sure I said, thank you, but I just wanted you to know I went. Then one day I went to church early because we used to feed. I went to church very early in the morning, and before I knew it, somebody was knocking at the door. I walked to the door. He had AK-47 and two more guns with him. And I was already at the door. Had I seen it, maybe I would have stayed in my office. Thank God I didn't see it. And I had no choice now. I have to open. Because whether I opened or not, he could fire through the door. So I opened and I said, hello. And he said, don't be afraid, preacher. You remember you talked to me and told me that I don't have to take anybody's life? And I said, yes. And he said, that's exactly what I was about to do. And I made the mistake of passing through this church. And there was a crow up there on the cross. And when it crowed, it reminded me the words that you said. So I come here, I need you to pray with me so that this anger can go before I kill somebody. I prayed with him and he said, give me a few minutes, I'm going to pray by myself in this church, I don't know how to pray. And he prayed for a while and he said, make sure anybody who comes is not scared of my guns. Then he went away, took his guns home, and he came back to church. That guy became an usher.
Wow.
And helped me so much when I needed somebody who knew the community. I'm just simply saying, forming relationships with people, sometimes it's messy, sometimes it's dangerous, but if God is calling you, don't hold back. God knows what God is doing.
Okay, so there is obviously a wealth of wisdom right here. And we've heard from a lot of different people already today. I see Joanne's still in the room. I think Miss Terry left. Who is Hattie still there? Hattie left. And so there's a lot of people in the room that's got some great experience. So I have more questions I can ask them, but since this is our last time together, are there any questions out there just burning a hole in you that you would like to have answered by some of our lovely experts? Yes.
Is there a model for the Dream Garden as a model?
Yes.
And how do we get those resources?
Okay, well, the model we have, again, Dream Garden is a 501c3 nonprofit organization, so it is grant supported by, grants, volunteers, and the like. Our model is actually, pre-pandemic, Dream Garden is also an after-school mentoring and tutoring program from 2:45 to about 5 o'clock, 5:30, where the kids would come, they would get a snack, they would have devotion, and they would also get help with homework and get tutoring. In the summertime, we have a 7-week summer camp, and each summer, we have an overall spiritual theme. So the theme may be planting, harvesting, growing, something like that we incorporate into our morning devotion. So the kids come that morning and we do devotion, we do a morning workout, they get exercise, and then we teach them fun songs, we teach them church songs, and then after that, they go out for outdoor play, and then they come back in, and each week is divided into an academic theme. So you kind of saw some of the things there, like STEM week, creative writing week, math week, and stuff like that, where we really just hone in on those academics. And then we also have field trips. And one thing about us, I guess, that makes us different, which I think we're coming out of this, but all of our field trips come to us, with the exception of like swimming. We take them swimming, but the Birmingham Zoo comes to us, Ed Pittsburgh comes to us, the McWayne Center comes to us. Like, everybody comes to us. And but we did determine that after the pandemic, we want them to get out. So this summer, we plan to actually take them out and about as much as we can, because they've just been crammed in with devices and all of that. And so we have the field trips, and then they have lunch, and then they have kind of a like indoor recreational play. Our incorporated is Passion Lewis, and our camp director, who is responsible for like our staffing, our programming, our curriculum, and all of that, is Pastor Robert Lewis, my husband here. He's senior pastor at the Restoration on the Wave, honey. Okay, yeah, so he's our director. He can probably answer more questions as far as the model, but that's our general model. But one of the things I would say is just presence, like having people involved. I mean, I think Pastor Robert does a great job of recruiting volunteers. We have Quad W interns come and serve with us every summer. So the Passion works on the grant writing. Like, it takes a village. Okay? So, I don't know if I answered your question.
Yes, you did.
I did. Okay, I did. Anybody? Any more questions? Oh yes, for more information on Dream Garden Incorporated, please visit our website at dreamgardeninc.com. And we actually, for those of you who are in the holistic, church and holistic breakout session, we have an 8-minute video on YouTube and on our website that actually dives in, where you can visually see what a holistic approach looks like in the context of Dream Garden. Okay, we can play an 8-minute video, but if you want to see the holistic model, you can go to the website or YouTube and see the longer video.
Yeah, thank you so much for asking. So, Quad W interns are generally college students who have at least completed 1 year. Sometimes there's exceptions if they're an exceptionally mature 18-year-old. But between the ages of 18 and 25 who are in college or just out of college but before the age of 25, they should be a Christian, because it is a Christian internship and there is a spiritual development component. They do scripture reading daily. They also read curriculum on different topics that will help them in the community. For example, reconciliation is one of the topics that is covered, and Emily and I actually got the opportunity to take them to Montgomery to see the Equal Justice Initiative Museum and Memorial, and that was very powerful, especially after we'd spoken and discussed reconciliation together. They should also have a certain degree of maturity and a heart for the neighborhood. And able to live with other people. So if you know a college student who fits that criteria, we would love to talk to them, first of all, because it is a paid internship. It's not as though they are working for free. We believe in paying for their labor. But they also get to learn and be in community. It's fairly intensive, which is why we would say that maturity is involved. But everything doesn't have to be there, because this is a spiritual formation internship as much as it is about service and about community development. So what they don't have, we know, because we can think about where we were when we were between the ages of 18 and 25 and what we did and did not have. That's how we developed that. And so it is a very powerful internship and experience for people who want to be formed in Christian discipleship. I'm a testimony to that. I was an intern, and now I'm a pastor. I don't. You know, it helps with maturity because I might still be pretending like I'm not. You know. And so you can help in several ways. One, they don't do laundry in a fun place. They go to the laundromat because they are people in the community. So if you'd like to collect quarters, talk to your church's outreach and we will take your quarters. If you would like to serve a meal, every night they are given either a home-cooked or a catered meal from a different family or church. And sometimes those individuals even eat with the interns. So you can serve them by eating. You can donate to the North Alabama Conference. I'm sure Adeline can give you some information. Just, put Ministry with the Poor in the note on your check and we'll figure out what to do with that. But mostly we need quality interns. So the young people in your church who are college students, the young people in your life who are college students, put them in touch with us. Give us, it's quadwmi.org is the website. And you can also find all of that information on the North Alabama Conference's website. We would love to interview them and speak with them. And although I'm very partial to the Huntsville site and to the North Alabama Conference, there are sites all over the country. And if they're interested in children or the homeless population, for example, or those who are experiencing homelessness, then some sites might be better for that than others. Each site has its own focus. So the main thing we need right now is your prayers and interns and your support by getting the word out about it. So does that answer your question? Thank you so much for asking that question.
This question is for TK. Was there anything that you did to develop the relationships with the quote-unquote drug users or whatever in the community? Or how did that work to where the relationship was built, where they trusted you and you were able to interact with them?
I think I would say yes, there was something that I did, and no, that there wasn't something that I did. One thing that I think helped me was acknowledging that I don't know everything. And the other thing was for me to know that I looked into my own story. I wasn't born a Christian, and when I became a Christian, the words that came from that pastor, I still remember up to now. He said, "Thank you for allowing God to speak to you and for coming to us because we don't know how to reach people like you. And you are going to help us and teach us how to do that." Those words always ring to me that if we want to reach people we don't know how to reach, we have to recruit people we don't know how to reach and acknowledge our ignorance. And also acknowledge that by reaching out to them, not only do they benefit, we benefit. We grow. So I think that aspect of me humbling myself and looking at them as people and let them feel that I don't consider myself a specialist, I consider them as the specialists. Then they were open enough to teach me. And I bet you I learned a lot from them. So the key is to allow yourself and also to know that we are all benefited a lot.
TK, I have a follow-up question like to piggyback. Ministry can be sort of daunting and fearful at times. How did you overcome your fear? Some strange places we wind up in at times, but in terms of you dealing with the fear in Anderson, and Anderson can be armed with shots. How did you overcome your fear in that situation?
For me, I don't know whether I had fear. Maybe my family had fear.
I did.
My family were the ones who had fear. I didn't have fear because I wasn't born as smooth as I am now. I was born rough. I was born rough. I grew up rough. I could fight over anything. I would fight with you if you didn't look at me. I would fight with you if you looked at me.
Wow.
I would fight with you if your dog beat my dog. So I was born to fight. My father used to say, don't fear the size, but fear the impact of the blow. And he used to tell me, when you are fighting, you are not boxing. So you should not be afraid of how big the person is, because fighting is for your survival. If they are too big for you to use your hands, pick a rock and hit them. So I'm saying I don't consider where I came from as bad. I consider it as God was preparing me for times like this. Anything we have in our past can help us if we allow God to use it for where we are and for what we are doing.
Yeah, I'm speaking in terms of inadequacy. When you were sent to Mount Brooklyn to speak with them, the fear that it brings to respond and say what those people need to hear.
Yes, I think what the other thing is, I think I shared in the group that we were, that sometimes I feel like I have an advantage. I'm African, and I can use my being African as I don't know. And the truth is, we all don't know. We don't know as much as we think we know. My not knowing and my willingness to be educated helps a lot. And I think that's the challenge we have as Christians, as people who have been in church for a long time. We think we know it. And yet, we may miss something. People can teach us. And even like as we were saying in Anderson, when we were trying to do the name of the church, we got the name of the church from the people in the community. When we were trying to change the name, we were struggling. We had all these church names. And the person said, you are actually giving this community new life. Why can't you call this church New Life? And that's where it came from. So I think we have to humble ourselves. That's humility. And trusting that God is with us. Otherwise, we will not do anything.
Well, thank y'all. It is 2 o'clock. So we're going to wrap up. Is there anything after this other than
No more
this
food.
handling? And y'all can wait just 20 minutes. Supper will be served. But if you will do 2 things for us, there are evaluation forms on the tables now. If you will please fill that out for us and let us know what went well, what was helpful, what wasn't. We are just starting out getting these programs going, and we want to make sure we do it better next time. So help us out. 2, if you will take one of the note cards on your table and write your name and email address. We will put you on our mailing list to keep you informed about other trainings and other resources that come about. We might have and then 3, I think some of us on the team and our presenters, we might be here right afterward. If there's something you wanted to ask, go find us right afterward. Sally will be here all day, so you should catch her. And if you are really interested in ministry with the poor and are wanting to do more organization and put more time for it within the conference, we are always looking for more help on the team. And if you can pass the test with Adeline, she's very, she's tough. If you can get through her interview, we would love for you to help out and participate on the team. So fill out that evaluation, give us your name and email address so we stay in contact with you. And you will, and if you need to see us afterwards, catch us. If not, email us. We love to communicate and answer any questions. Jane, do you have some closing?
Oh, we are done. We just want to say thank you all for spending the day with us. Thanks for the give us the wisdom that we need as we go back home to our ministries and to engage those we have left home to do transformative work, to move from, crisis mode to equip and empower those who we are serving. God bless you. I think there were some questions. Since you are going, I'm trusting that you are doing the evaluations, because some of the questions over there were to help us with the evaluations. So I'm trusting that those evaluations with you are filled and you leave them on the table and we can collect them for our future meetings again. So we can close together. And also, please continue to pray for this wonderful team so that they can continue to do what God is doing among us and what God is doing within the North Alabama Conference. Did you know we have so much richness within our conference with ministries that we're doing? Yeah. We have shared, we have learned together. So thank you all so much. May God bless you. We can do the communal prayer together as we close. Anything from the team that you... Yes, Adam?
Also, TK reminded me, if there is a question you wanted to ask and you don't want to find one of us, you can also write that question on the note card. And then the first thing we will email you are answers to everyone's questions. So if you have lingering questions, please just write it on the note card and we will get back to you on those. Sure. And now let us pray together the prayer that is on the screen. Creator God, your image is alive in every human person, giving to each of us an inviolable dignity, creating in us a desire to act in solidarity, the ability to work together, and a willingness to share with others our time, our energy, our skills and talents, and our wealth. As we share and enjoy the fruits of your creation, restore in us your vision of a world made whole, and inspire us to commit ourselves to the common good. Gracious God, give us ears to hear, eyes to see, and hearts to love, so that we reflect you in our way of life, and in our choices, words, and actions. Jesus is the good news to the poor. As his followers, may we recognize the call to be the same. Amen.
Go in peace.
Recycle your name tags, please leave them on the back table and we'll use them the next time. Thank you.